Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos ranging from 12 down to a year. I wanted to do a video. I know it is kind of early, but I start thinking about these things kind of early, and why not? Because time flies and it'll be here before you know it. 2022 goals. I have periodically do like seasonal goals to kind of keep myself on track and to where I can kind of keep things fresh in my brain if I kind of write them down and think about them and hold myself accountable, especially doing a video about it, and it helps me to stay accountable. But as a whole, my yearly goals will be different. Now, a lot of people do these fitness goals and whatnot, and they start off very gung-ho about it and just very motivated, and then kind of it dwindles down. So I'm trying to figure out a way to keep these goals fresh in my mind as it relates to a yearly goals, not necessarily like seasonal or the specific time period of the year. These are some things. I have 5 things that I really would like to focus on this year. Things when I look and I evaluate how how the previous year went, the current year, and things that I can improve on and things that I want to do differently. And so I kind of thought through this, and I feel like these are some things that kind of hit home and things that I really want to focus on and throughout the whole year, not just for a season. And then my hope is that these things carry on into the next year, and then they just become like natural, and so I don't have to see them as a goal. I can see them as an accomplishment and just part of everyday life. Number 1, being more of a yes parent. I see a lot of posts on Facebook, Instagram, all of that on being yes parents. And I've always thought, okay, well, that's going to give the wrong message because you say yes to everything, but that's not what it means. Digging deeper into that, there are things that my kids might want to do that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do that. Everybody's going to get messy, or everybody's going to, I don't know, it's going to take too much time, or I got to get all this stuff out. And I'm talking about like, going certain places, for a walk or the park. And it's hard when you have 7, now the older ones help tremendously. So that is, obviously a plus, but it's still hard to kind of make sure that everybody is wrangled if you're by yourself. And I mean like, during the week, that's where I struggle with it. So I would like to be more and focus more on being a yes parent as it relates to things that I just don't want to do because it's too much of a hassle. So not like, hey, I want this toy. Okay, yes, because I'm a yes parent. That's, buying things is not really included. That's not what it pertains to. It is more of experiences, things that they can do throughout the day, playing board games, focusing more on family time instead of having to focus on checking things off my list all day long. So becoming a yes parent is it's something that I've kind of dug deeper with and try to understand better, because I see so much about it, and constantly saying no just because I don't want to do something. I want it to be more about them. So I'm going to try that, see how it goes, see if it is something that I can do, because like I said, I'm so I have to-do lists and I have to get things done. And if I have extra spare minutes, then I need to, go and do that. But instead of doing something that maybe needs to be done, that doesn't need to be done right that second, taking a second and doing something with the kids that they want to do. If they ask, instead of saying, no, I'm too busy, or I have this to do and that to do. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it goes. If you are a frequent yes parent, let me know, because I'm curious how it works and where your boundaries lie, other than, simply not buying them everything that they want. Obviously, that's not the point of all of this, but I'm curious as to how it pans out on a day-to-day basis. Budgeting, I have mentioned budgeting as a goal in the past, and I want to continue with that. I get like that kind of every December, where I start thinking about, okay, this year I'm going to be super strict and write things down. And it just, like I said, everything I think as it relates to fitness, as it relates to health goals, as it relates to whatever, people start very strong in January and then it just kind of fades off. And so I really, really, really want to stick with this. I want to be held more accountable for where money is going. And like I said before, it's hard because we have a new house. And so it's easy to say, oh, we need to decorate this, we need to decorate this and this and this. Yes, but at a slower pace. I have tried, and I think I've done a pretty good job so far of focusing one room at a time. So like the kids' bedrooms, I've done one room at a time. It's not like all the kids' bedrooms at one time, and going in birth order. That's what my process was and is. So going in order and doing one room at a time helps tremendously, because I can focus on one thing at a time. My mind tends to go like in 10 different directions. And so it's hard to focus on one thing sometimes. But budgeting, trying to be held accountable more for where our money goes, write things down, look at the last 2-3 months, November being an exception because we were traveling, and so it's not something that I can really use as a basis for that month. But taking a couple months worth, seeing where everything goes, where our faults lie, and which I can pretty much tell you where they lie without really writing it down, but seeing it on paper is kind of nips it in the bud, because I feel like if you look at it, you can say all day long, oh, I spend money on home decor, or I spend money on eating out, or I spend money on, Amazon purchases, whatever. But if you sit there and look at the numbers and see what you've spent and in an entire month, and what you could have done with that money, or where it could have gone, or if you have debt, if it goes to debt, whatever, that's eye-opening. So budgeting, I want to focus on the entire year, and whether that is making goals monthly, like smaller goals monthly, or doing, tackling something each month as it relates to budgeting, as it relates to being more precise with where money goes. So that is number 2. Number 3, procrastinating less and being more productive. Overall, I am not a procrastinator. In the grand scheme of things, I am not a procrastinator. In the big picture, I am not a procrastinator. But in the smaller daily things, I can be a procrastinator, because I try and think of what I need to be doing instead of X, Y, and Z. So I will say, okay, I have to make these doctor's appointments, but I'm dreading doing these doctor's appointments because I have so much on my schedule for this month, and I really don't feel like trying to figure that out and talking to the person at the doctor's office and figuring out what works best and yada, yada, yada. Things like that, small things that I will literally have that in the back of my mind. This is how my mind works. I will have that in the back of my mind constantly as a nagging thought. I need to make the appointment. I need to make the appointment. I need to, and I put it off because it's annoying. And I do other things instead. And then when I finally get to where I have to make the appointment, then I will do it. I want to stop that. I want to, when I think of something that needs to be done, I want to do it, check it off my list, let it go. Daily things. So, like I said, overall, I am not a procrastinator. When it comes to like packing for trips, I start early. When it comes to, things like that, I start early. But on a daily basis with the very like mundane things, cleaning something that like I know is super dirty that needs to be cleaned, that got really dirty in the morning and I have yet to clean it and it's the afternoon, but I'm putting it off because I don't want to do it. Those types of things. I want to be better on the procrastination on a daily level. So I'm hoping to do this. This is a mindset that I know requires constant thought and constant practice. But I feel like because I know that I'm not a procrastinator by nature, that this won't be as hard as I think it might be. I just need to stay on top of things. And as I am doing this video, there are 2 doctor's appointments that I need to make that I keep putting off because our schedule is crazy. So after this video, I will be doing that. I will be calling and making those appointments. Okay, number 4, listing, like I mentioned kind of with the rooms, listing big to-dos, a to-do list of bigger things and tackling them one by one. So like I said, my mind can go in so many different directions. I can have, for example, it was very hard for me to do room by room decorating the kids' rooms because I would go to the store to get something for one of my kids' rooms, and then I would see this really cute poster or this really cute wall hanging or wall art that goes with the theme of one of my other kids' rooms. And I had to like physically stop myself from picking that up and purchasing it because I knew, well, what if it's not there when I come back to purchase it, when I get to that room? That is how my mind works. And so I need to stick with that. I have been very good with it so far. But for me, I can be somewhere purchasing something for a purpose and see something else that I think this is the Target problem or the Walmart problem or wherever you shop or at home or wherever. You go for one thing and then you see 10 other things that would be perfect in another room and you purchase that also. And that is where the budgeting rolls in. That is where productivity rolls in. That is being more strict with yourself plays in. I want to be able to say, this is what I'm focusing on. I am focusing on the bathroom. I am focusing on decorating the bathroom. That is the only thing that I'm looking for. That is the only thing I'm purchasing it for until I finish. And I'm telling you, it takes a certain mindset. You have to change your mindset because like I said, my first instinct is to go to a store and say, what in this store would look good in my house as a whole? Or what would look good in the boys' bathroom and the girls' bathroom? No, I need to focus more on one thing. Doing smaller things for the bigger picture. So that is a goal, it's been very hard so far, but I've done it. Pinpoint one room to deal with and pinpoint one room to decorate. Having a picture within a picture. You have your garden that you're working on, yes, which is a small portion of something that you're working at in your home, which is the big picture. And then focusing on smaller pieces, the decorations, the flowers, the rocks, the etc. Focusing on smaller things, because that is what has gotten me into trouble before, is that I look and I think I'm doing something good by focusing on the garden part, but really there's smaller parts that I need to look at. So if that makes sense, not seeing something as a whole and seeing the smaller parts where I can focus on more. It doesn't necessarily have to be specific to home decor and focusing on rooms of a house, but just for anything in general, making my to-do list of large things that I need to get done, big projects that I need to get done, and then taking little bites at a time and focusing on little parts of that at a time. Lastly, number 5, I would like to do more one-on-ones with the kids. Years ago, we started doing this, and I might actually start this back up where I had a poster, and it was, of course, this was when we only had like 3 or 4 kids, and I think 3 actually at the time. And I had a poster, and I had my husband and I would alternate doing like one-on-ones with the kids. Now, as a side note, a one-on-one does not always have to be going and doing an activity or, going to a theme park or going out to eat or anything like that. It doesn't have to be that. I have found that a lot of times one-on-ones can just be taking a kid to the grocery store, driving in the car, when it's just you and that other child, and turning off the radio and asking them questions, or having conversation with them. That is still one-on-one time. And especially as a large family, and I was going to do a video on this, which I might still, but just kind of off track here. A one-on-one in a large family does not always mean that you go somewhere. You can do something at home. You can just simply say, hey, do you want to go to the grocery store with me? Do you want to go here with me? And make that your one-on-one. It does not have to be so pre-planned that you lose track of, like, you get so consumed with what kid you're on and where you're going, and then are we spending enough money here, or are we spending the same amounts of money on this one-on-one as we are on this one-on-one, because then that can get pretty expensive too. But it does not have to be something like that. It could just be sitting outside eating ice cream on your back porch together, not planned, just it happens, and that can be your one-on-one time. And you just have to recognize those times and use those to your advantage. Because like I said, as a large family, it is hard sometimes, times 7, to find time to go on a weekend to, out to eat or whatnot. And then you leave your other kids, and your other kids all want to go. So it's hard to do that. But just know that you don't have to physically go somewhere. You don't have to pinpoint a time and make an exact date on the calendar. If you feel like you have had adequate one-on-one time with that child, then that's okay. It doesn't have to be something that's pre-planned. But I would still like to be able to recognize those moments and recognize those times as they are happening, or recognize that, hey, I'm going to the store. Which kiddo have I not really had one-on-one time with recently? Do they want to go to the store? And I find this true a lot of times for my younger kids, because I don't take my younger kids out that much. And my older kids are the ones that go out quite a bit if I'm going to the store, and they're the ones, just because it's easier. So I find that my younger kids don't always get that luxury. And so focusing on that too, and making sure that my younger kids are getting that one-on-one time, because that's just as important, and especially, if not more important, because they're further down the line. And so, we've had a lot of one-on-one time with my 2 older ones. Not that you should push that to the back burner, but we have had a lot, before. And then here's number 5 or number 6 or number 7 that comes along and has a ton of siblings before them, and it makes it a lot harder for one-on-one time. So my goal is to focus on that. And I might do separate videos on how I am doing with these, because I really want to stay accountable. And if this is something that you guys are looking into as well for yearly goals, then obviously it's something that you want to have, you want to keep up with. Because these are things that I think I need to focus on more or most for this upcoming year. Okay, guys, those are 5 things that I want to focus on for 2022. If you have any other ideas or any goals of your own, let me know down below. I'm curious if any of these align with yours. And, if you have any others that you feel like are, areas of your life that are in need of focusing on. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.